So don't say anything. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start the live stream
Okay.
because it's going to take a moment.
Ah, there it is.
All right, everyone, welcome to the Connection Corner. I am Barb Nangle. I'm the community manager at Known, and I'm really excited today because we have two of the Knownpreneurs from the current cohort of our Knownpreneurs Growth Lab, which is a BIPOC business accelerator program, Tamara and Raasikh. And I'll be introducing them in a moment. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about Known. Known is a dynamic co-working community to connect entrepreneurs across their fields of expertise, endeavors, and experiences. We started as a co-working space in downtown New Haven. We're still the only co-working space downtown, but we have expanded into being a multifaceted entrepreneur support organization. We are now offering a 90-day next level program for entrepreneurs that gives you what you need when you need it. You'll get a breakthrough in a business area of your need, such as financial management, branding and marketing, strategies and operation, leadership or team management, or capital/grant loan readiness. You know where your business requires the most attention to get you to the next level. So this laser focused program prioritizes what matters most to you by providing a discovery session and a decision-based process to customize a 90-day execution roadmap. Who doesn't love a roadmap for your business? Your very own expert coach will keep you committed and consistent to perform at your absolute best. This higher performance coaching program will undoubtedly get you to the next level. So in order to find more about it, you can go to KNOWNpreneurs.com and click on the menu item Next Level Coaching. Or if it's easier, you can send me an email. I can be reached at barb@knowncoworking.com. As a reminder, Known Coworking has hourly, daily, and monthly plans for dedicated desks and office spaces, as well as conference rooms and Zoom rooms available for rent. If you'd like to know more about the space, go ahead and email me. Again, it's barb@knowncoworking.com. You can also check us out at nhvknown.com or follow us on Instagram or Facebook at Known Coworking and DM us there. One of the ways we support entrepreneurs is through our virtual program. So there's this program, Connection Corner, and Digital Media Sync. You can catch free replays of all of our episodes. There's well over 100 on our website under Known Live and Events. Digital Media Sync is your window to the digital world, and it's hosted by Julia Gambale. She's the social media maven of She's So Social. She is an expert in online communications, so anything you want to know about online communications, she's got it. This show, The Connection Corner, is a place for entrepreneurs, creators, thinkers, and innovators to share how they support the entrepreneurship ecosystem in the greater New Haven area, or to profile entrepreneurs, which is what we're doing today. If you or anyone you know would like to be featured on one of these shows, go ahead and email me. Again, it's barb@knowncoworking.com. Our purpose in the physical and virtual space is to make connections between people. We're here to help you get connected, inspired, and known. In addition, we host occasional Wine Down Wednesday networking events. This is in-person networking at Known. It's for entrepreneurs and professionals, and we're at 139 Orange Street on the 4th floor. And each time that we host Wine Down Wednesday, we profile a different entrepreneur through our fireside chat, and that usually starts at about 5 or 5:30. So without further ado, I'm going to take the spotlight off of me and I'm going to put it on Tamara, and she is going to talk about her business. So take it away.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So Tamara Mitchell-Davis here. I am thrilled to be here. Thanks for having me here, Barb. Our business, TM Davis Enterprise, is the name of our company. We are a training and development company that empowers aspiring authors to bring their book and business visions to life. And so we work with our clients from story ideation to publish and beyond. And that's them seeing the book as the business and vehicle to increase their authority, visibility, and really showcase their skills and expertise as a thought leader in their industry. And so that's a quick snapshot of what we do, and it's in the book and business space.
Wonderful. So who's your ideal client, Tamara?
So we work with women. We actually just completed a project for married couples. Our book just published, Love, Business, and Marriage. We have a book celebration on planned for March 25th, 2023. So predominantly women, wives, and just ventured into a couples collaboration book. And so that is the space, collaborations. Typically it is the aspiring author or entrepreneur who says, I can't find the time to write, not sure where to start, and just don't have the understanding on what it takes to bring a book to life. And we walk alongside them with training and development for them to understand the writing process, to get their story and book published, and then really think about the book as the vehicle so that they could navigate different spaces and places with their own clients. So attracting their own client base and using the book as a stream of income to bring in money, revenue, and make the impact that they desire.
Wonderful. Now, do you work individually with these authors or do they work in small groups?
They work in small groups, so it's by way of a book collaboration. We have the theme of the book. When we start recruiting, once they turn in a chapter, then we pretty much handle the rest. And so for the aspiring author that says, you know, I have a ton of responsibilities, I have a desire to write the book and just not sure how to get it done or don't have the time to do it all, then this would be the perfect opportunity. Just write a chapter, we handle the rest. They have the opportunity to learn alongside as we're doing it. So we say, you know, you learn the process because you're in the process. And so they're able to, from there, allow that to be a springboard for them to write their own book if they desire to do so.
Oh, nice. And so if they do desire to do so, do you work with them to get that published?
Yes, yes,
Oh,
we do. So
fantastic. Okay.
yes.
Wonderful. So I recently learned about something called hybrid publishing. And because of the whole world of Zoom and everything, when I hear hybrid, I think is that mixed between live and online, and that has nothing to do with it. I know that that's not what hybrid means, but that's what I thought. And I learned that it was sort of like the best of both worlds of self-publishing and traditional publishing, in that traditional publishers do all the work and have the networks, but they expect you to toe the line and do what they say. And often they're telling you, you can't put this in or you need to put that in. And also they take a gigantic chunk of the money. Whereas in self-publishing, you get all the money, but you have to do all the work and you usually don't know what you're doing. So where do
Yes.
you land on that spectrum? Are you a hybrid publisher? Are you more like a traditional publisher, self-publishing?
I would say hybrid, because we predominantly work with those who desire to be self-published. And so I self-publish my own books. I train around self-publishing the individuals to self-publish their own books as well. And the reason I say hybrid is for those who are in the book collaboration projects, that's not an area or a task that they would need to be concerned with, because that's what we take on. And so as long as they are writing the chapter, producing the headshot and the bio, then we self-publish on our end. So they're still able to highlight themselves as a published author because they are part of the book collaboration, but it's less
Right.
of a task or less work on their part. And so we're in between, just depending on the individual, depending on the project, whether it's a solo project or they are part of a collaboration, but it is the self-publishing space rather than traditional publishing.
Fantastic. I love it. So one last question before we go to Raasikh. So you said you'll have a theme and then the book will be on that theme. But I wonder, do
Yes.
you like get a bunch of people and you're like, okay, this seems like a theme for these people? Or do you have like, we have a theme and you do a call for authors, or is it some other kind of process?
Yes, that's a great question. So we have the theme and then we do an author call. So as an example, just to reflect on some of our previous projects, one project was around healing, another was around purpose and entrepreneurship. Another one was on transformation. And so we have the theme of the book, you know, the stories that we're looking to showcase. We have an author call, so that's by way of marketing to get those who are interested on the line or in front of them to share the opportunity. And then we have one-on-one consultation calls just to really unpack what their story contribution will be and if it's a good fit and alignment. And if so, then we move to the next step, and that is onboarding for them to be a part of the project. So for someone who is considering, I'm not sure what to write about, I'm not sure where to start, then that's half of the guesswork out of it, because we already have the theme, we know what stories we're looking to showcase. And if time is an issue or a challenge, then you're writing a chapter and we provide support around the writing time or the writing space or writing support. We have co-working sessions where they show up and just write, and we, you know, work through them again through the ideation of the story. We have an editor on our team who will then come in and go through grammar, spelling, content development to make sure that what is being submitted is a story piece that they are pleased with, happy with, and feel comfortable marketing. And so in case my editor gets this live in her hand, I just want to shout her out. Heather Asiambi is our editor we've been working with for the last few years. And so it takes the guesswork out of it, because, you know, a lot of times the challenges that I hear from those we've worked with has been, I don't have the time. I've always desired to write a book. I'm not sure where to start, where to begin. I'm not sure, like, just all the questions and wonderings. And so positioning it this way, we have the theme, you write a chapter, we give you how many words to write for your story contribution, we do the onboarding, and then we handle pretty much everything else. So it's a win-win. I like to say
Great.
it's a win-win.
So how do people get in contact with you?
Yeah, so my website is www.theceowife.com, www.theceowife.com. I couldn't remember if I had left the W off, but it's theceowife.com, and on Facebook, Tamara Mitchell Davis, or The CEO Wife on Facebook.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. So we're gonna
Thank you.
kind of unspotlight you for now, and we're gonna
Okay.
spotlight Raasikh and have him take over and tell us about his business. So take it away, Raasikh.
Good afternoon and happy Friday, everyone. Barb, thank you so much for having me here. And it's great to participate with my cohort colleague. My name is Raasikh Muhammad Joseph. I'm the founder and principal of Pinnacle Restaurant Strategy. We are a regional consultancy operating in the hospitality, food and beverage space between Connecticut and New York City. I founded Pinnacle basically to operate in three buckets: development, profitability, and advocacy within our industry. On the development side of the fence, when I came to the region many years ago now, I saw a great need for diversity in the market, not just diversity in concept, but diversity in leadership. So I took the resources that I gained and kind of went on a journey to attract existing businesses to new opportunities to grow and promote other businesses coming to the market. On the profitability side of things, the pandemic showed us that there are so many challenges in hospitality as well as every other industry, but my industry has a very unique set of needs, and working hand in hand with other entrepreneurs that may have 1 to 2 restaurants or bars, or even larger organizations, there's always space to try to save a few dollars to the bottom line. So we use our operational acumen to put strategies in place to help that. And then advocacy. Again, coming out of the pandemic, we never know what perils are going to hit our industry. So putting programs in place to send the aid that's needed to restaurant and bar owners, helping to grow curriculum in hospitality management in the schools and colleges, and hire grant writers for various different programmings, as well as encouraging bar and restaurant owners in the BIPOC community to share their hours and open their doors. I remember a time when I was studying in college, and I found great trouble doing externships and things of that nature in my industry with people who look like me. So that's who we are and what we're doing.
Wonderful. So I think the one that I didn't get was the development side. So can you say a little bit more about what you do in that bucket?
Absolutely. So we're talking bringing new concepts to market and expanding existing concepts. For instance,
Okay.
now I have a client and we're actively pursuing real estate in an adjacent market to where he currently does business to grow one of his brands. Whereas I have another client who is in the DC market who is very curious about bringing his concept to the Connecticut and/or New York market. So I'm the one with the resources on the ground that helps make that process a lot more fluid.
So I am going to claim my ignorance here. I don't know what the term concept means in the hospitality business. So can you please explain that for me?
All different tiers, all different fields. What's your favorite restaurant right now, Barb?
Blair's Cornucopia.
Gotta love Claire's. So say Claire saw an opportunity to not just be in downtown New Haven, but explore Norwalk or somewhere else in Fairfield County. I'm the entity that she would work with to help facilitate that growth, from securing real estate space, working with a commercial broker, contractors, build outs, putting licenses in place, hiring all those entities.
Okay. So that really helps me understand the development part, but I'm still not like, is the concept of Claire's that she's a vegetarian restaurant or something like that? Or like a serve
Well,
yourself, sit down kind of place? Is that the quote concept?
I would say so. Claire's Cornucopia
Okay.
is known to be a very well-respected vegetarian restaurant that is a cafe of sorts.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
And there may be comparable markets adjacent to where she currently operates that can help facilitate some growth. Because as you see it in our industry, one unit is an amazing thing. To have success, to run one bar, restaurant, cafe for 5 to 15 years is amazing. But to be able to do it with multiple units is also an amazing thing.
Right. Of course. Yeah. So how do people contact you?
Through my website is probably the best. I can be found at pinnaclerestaurantstrategy.com. That's PINNACLE. You'll be able to reach out to me there pretty fluidly. I am on social media. You can find me at Raasikh, RAASIKHINC. Or through the website. Or find me at
Awesome.
Known. I can easily be found at Known.
That's true. Well, I'm going to take the spotlight off of you now. If I can figure out how to do that, why can't I do that? I can't. Okay, I'm not getting my little square up there for you, Raasikh. I don't know what happened. Well, let's see if I can also spotlight Tamara and me. That's spotlight. Okay, now we're all three spotlighted. Great. So thank you both so much for telling us about your business. One of the reasons I love hosting this show is I get to have a lot more time, well, not necessarily alone, but to hear a lot more about each of your businesses because of the way that I work on this team. I don't really get to spend that much time. So it's really a delight to be able to hear it. So what I'd like to do now is shift the conversation from your own individual businesses to talk about the Knownnpreneurs Growth Lab. So you've both been in, we're coming towards the end, towards the graduation. You know, we're like 2/3, 3/4 of the way through the program. So I'd like to hear first about like what caused you to apply to the program. What when you saw it, why did you say like, hey, I definitely want to do that? So Tamara, how about you?
Yes. So when I saw the information about the program, I wanted to be in a space where there were other individuals like on the path of entrepreneurship where we could network, we could talk through and unpack some business ideas, where we could just really be in a space like an incubator space to process the business ideas and even being in a place to think long term, like scaling and growing the business and what this means. And so when I saw the information about the program, I just felt it was an opportunity for me to do all of the things, the networking, the learning, the connections, and really get outside, coming off of a pandemic, still somewhat being in, where we are with the pandemic, but just getting outside and from behind the Zoom screen to make, connections in this entrepreneurship. And for me, being the book and business space, it wasn't a common thing in my area, in my community. And so just always looking for ways to partner and align and collaborate with others, and just have the synergy around entrepreneurship. When you talk to other people, like who aren't, let's say someone who isn't in the space of entrepreneurship, sometimes those conversations land different versus being in a space where you can talk about some of the challenges, the struggles, the wins, some ideas, and just, think forward on how you can grow and scale what it is that you've created. And so that's what really drew me to the program, in the space of like-minded, amazing individuals. And my colleague, known colleague Raasikh is one of them. So
Yeah.
I'm just happy to have been in the program and make the connections, and be, have the mentorship as well of everyone. Program manager, shout out to Ray, Juan, you, Barb, Kim, everyone has been amazing, supporting all of us, through this mentoring program.
Well, I love it. My heart is just swollen now with pride and joy. So how about you, Raasikh? What made you be like, hey, I'm signing up for that?
So full transparency, New Haven for me, I'm not from the region at all. I came to New York and Connecticut for professional regions to bring a concept to market with another restaurant group. And I would come in and out of New Haven, in and out for business reasons, and never really got to get in on the ground and see what New Haven had to offer. When I did take the time to do that, I saw the diversity, I saw the people around that were working hard to make the community grow, tie the community closer, promote and help entrepreneurs grow. I saw the Knownnpreneur program. I looked at the structure of it and I said, wow, that sounds like a great use of time to be in a room during a certain period and have and forge long-term relationships where everyone's like-minded. Iron sharpens iron. I've been able to poke holes in my business and understand elements that work or that I thought were working and understand things that really work. And because of that, I've moved to, per diem contracts and more long-term contracts and understanding what the needs are of my industry far better than I did beforehand. And that's through conversations within my cohort, with the individuals in it, as well as my mentors. Like Ray happens to be my mentor. I had great conversations with Ron and actual real help, because sometimes it's just a very small thing, a very small roadblock that stops you from, checking something off the list. So having those resources to help address some of those needs have been absolutely amazing. But
Awesome. So since you said that you thought it would be a really good use of your time, I'm gonna pitch the next question to you, Raasikh, and then we'll go to you, Tamara, which is, what have been some of your top takeaways? Now, you guys have both mentioned some like really yummy, juicy things you've gotten from the program, but if you had to say your top like 1 to 3 takeaways from the program about your business, what would it be? So let's start with you, Raasikh.
3 takeaways specifically about my business, not necessarily the KNOWNpreneurs program. What I learned was that I have to measure myself constantly. And if I am only looking at my clients' metrics and not my own, I won't see the growth that I need, and that I won't be able to orient myself or the business appropriately for what's to come. That's huge. I learned that every business and every client is different, and every deal is different. Operating with a fixed contract here's our deal for every entity, that's not necessarily successful. So having some flexibility there and having more of a bespoke relationship with the individuals you're working with is absolutely huge. And the last thing I learned about my business was that it is practical. It does work. There is space for it within the industry, and that I have to continue to do this, network, get to know people who are also entrepreneurs in similar, phases of growing their companies. They all have their own buckets of resources and tools, and you just never know what, going to a wind down Wednesday or, any type of reception that's through this program does. So there's opportunities in New Haven that are similar. So it's getting out and getting in front of everyone, really. Be more visible.
Yeah, I love it. And actually, speaking of Wind Down Wednesday, when we used to have it on Fridays, I remember that's when I met you. It was a snowy day, and you and Monica came, and you were the only ones here, but we got to know each other really well. I gave you a tour, and that sucked you into our community, and you're still here.
That's such a great story, because we had been trying to get down there, and we had just wrapped up a meeting, and we ran over, and we were like, oh wait, no one's here. We're the only ones here, but we were able to have, that time with you to really delve into what we both do within our fields, what Known was building. So that was huge.
Yeah, right. And now Monica's one of the instructors for the KNOWNpreneurs program, and you're one of the entrepreneurs. So that, that worked out great. So you can never do too much networking. So how about you, Tamara? What are your top 1 to 3 takeaways about your business that you've gotten from the Growth Lab?
A few takeaways I would, the first is just expansion of opportunities. Having the presenters come in and share from their area of expertise really opened my eyes to the additional possibilities. That just keeps me excited, keeps me looking at additional ways to support and serve those I work with. So that was great. Like I can sit and work all day long and all night because I'm just excited about where the business is going. The other would be the business model. And so really writing down, thinking about tweaking what it is that we do, from business planning to the capability statements. So unpacking, or I say unpacking because I came packed with everything just stuffed in. And, you know, when you come back from vacation, sometimes that suitcase may sit there for a little bit. So just unpacking everything and really laying it out on this is what it is and where do I plan to go. So understanding my client journey, understanding the business model, having a better handle on, you know, how we want to grow. And so tracking my KPI, shout out to Ron, master at what he does with the KPIs and the spreadsheets and everything. And so it's really being intentional on what it is you want to do in your business and how you want to see your business grow and flourish. And so it's not to say it doesn't come with challenges and struggles, but being in the space where you can talk through those challenges and get support, and it's no judgment, and really work through some of the barriers that you're experiencing. To me, it has been the greatest experience for me to do all of that and more. So that has been my known experience thus far.
Awesome. I love it. And just for those who don't know what KPI means, you're not alone. I had to hear it like 10 times. It's key performance indicators. And it's like, these are goals I'm setting, I'm putting numbers to them, and I'm going to check in on them on a regular basis. So excellent. So last question, either one of you can answer it first. What I'm curious about is the fact that the KNOWNpreneurs Growth Lab is specifically by and for BIPOC business owners. So what has it been like for you to participate in a program where all of the entrepreneurs are BIPOC individuals? The vast majority of the mentors and the instructors are BIPOC individuals. What's that been like for you?
It's been great.
Yeah.
It's been absolutely great. I mean, I gave a little testimonial earlier about my experiences when I was studying DC and trying to go into you know, restaurants or restaurant groups to learn. And there weren't a lot of people, you know, front of house, back of house, otherwise that looked like me or, you know, had a similar background. So to see people who were either instructing or adjacent to me learning that had similar backgrounds and similar stories, it's very comforting rather. And you know, you take that, not to say there's a guard up, but you know, you release it and you're a sponge and you're able to absorb.
I love it. How about you, Tamara? What's it been like for you?
Everything Raasikh said, I would just like to add access, opportunity, and motivation. That's what it has been for me. Access to resources, access to mentorship, opportunities, forward thinking, like what's to come, what's next, and the networking piece. So everything that we needed or had access to or wanted to explore was presented to us. And if we left with a question, we still had a base to come back to, whether it were the mentors or each other. We still had that space where we could continue to dig into our own businesses with support in the classroom setting, outside. And I want to also add relationships. That's what we've all doing in relationships with each other. And so it's beyond, you know, once you start establishing a relationship and, you know, the program is over, but those are still relationships that can carry on and carry through as you both journey to your next. You still have built a rapport with someone and have made a connection.
Yeah, I love it. I love that you ended with relationships because, you know, I'm a connector. I can't stop myself from doing it. My dad opened a pharmacy when I was 8 years old. So I literally grew up in a small business. I got off the bus starting in 3rd grade and I started working there when I was 11. I started working there for pay when I was 12. And one of the lessons that my dad taught me was do business with people who do business with you. And so I think that's one of the things that the KNOWNpreneurs Growth Lab does, is it gives you this community of people that you have relationships with. And so now you're going to refer people to them. You're going to do business with them. You're going to do business with each other. And then when we have our KNOWNpreneurs socials, where we bring all the KNOWNpreneurs from all the cohorts together, you get to meet each other and have a wider pool. And then when everybody's doing business with each other, those businesses are so much more likely to succeed. And then what we're doing is weaving together this ecosystem of BIPOC entrepreneurs who all know and refer and do business with each other, and just makes for a tighter and tighter community. And I am actually a sociologist by training, so I'm really interested in like systems and how do we create systems that are equitable, and how do we break down the systems that are not equitable, or how do we make them equitable. And I feel like we're building something from the ground up that's equitable from the very beginning. And that feels really, really good to me, just as a human.
I think that's huge. I think we all have a new room of advocates for for all of our businesses, right? That just wasn't necessarily there before. And then, you tie in their networks. It's huge.
Yeah. So if either of you have a call to action that you would like to share with people, if you have an upcoming offer or you have a freebie, something that you offer people, this is the time to do it. And then also, if there's anything that you really want to make sure that you said today that you didn't get a chance to say, feel free to go ahead and share. So let's start with you, Tamara.
Sure. When sharing my social media platforms, I forgot to mention LinkedIn. So you can find me on LinkedIn as well, Tamara Mitchell Davis. I do have our annual Pen to Profit conference coming up. It's a conference for authors.
Name. I love it. Pen to Profit.
Yes.
Nice branding.
Thank you. It's our annual conference for authors, speakers, and coaches, all connected to the book and business space. So around branding, visibility, books, marketing, and also mindset. So our theme this year is Mind, Body, Revenue, and our conference will be in Puerto Rico, April 20th to the 22nd. And so information at www.pen2profit.live. That's pen2profit.live. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's an annual thing now.
Fantastic. Love it.
Thank you.
And Raasikh, did you have anything you wanted to share?
Yeah, a couple things. I forgot to mention that if you log on to www.Pinnacle Restaurant Strategy and throw your information in, we are offering complimentary initial consultations. If you are curious about collaborating together, you can fill out the form there and schedule a time for us to powwow. And then on the other side of that, I work with some great subcontractors that I've either worked with previously in the industry who are extremely talented, but I'm always looking to collaborate with other entities. So the same place, same location. If you're someone who is great at what you do in the hospitality, food and beverage industry, and you're looking for more opportunities or to affect change with the business, reach out. I'd love to collaborate with you.
What just occurred to me when you were talking about the consultation was I worked in the restaurant business when I was younger, and I loved it. And I worked from everything from like pizza places to family dining to fine dining. And I found myself, especially when I was working in the fine dining industry, that I got so picky that I couldn't go out to eat for a while because my standards were so high. I was able to let it go after a few years of not being in the restaurant industry. But I often wanted to go in and like audit the restaurant for people and say, like, do you have any idea how you are turning your customers away? Do you offer anything like that where you will like audit a restaurant or something like that?
So the audits and the shopping, that is not something that we do. We're well aware of it. I would recommend most of my clients to do that themselves. Because that human capital field gets very small. You begin to know who the shoppers are. That's the shortest way
I see. Okay, I see.
To discuss that. So that's not a service we currently offer, but I would always welcome any business owner who has a restaurant and a bar audit of sanitation practice, doing your own internal audit. For hospitality, service, and food, you should always be doing your own internal audit as well. Now, if someone wants me to bring my wife to their restaurant for dinner and share my feedback, I'm happy to do that.
Nice. Okay. All right. Well, thank you both so much. This has been really juicy. I've loved it. Great conversation. Thank you so much for joining me. I am really excited. I'm going to be doing 3 more episodes in the next few weeks with the remaining knownnpreneurs. I don't have dates and times just yet, but be sure to be on the lookout for that. And so with that, I am going to stop the live stream. Okay, live stream has been stopped, and I'm going